Right now, they want me to shout them out real fast. The D line over here. How's everybody doing?
John, you have a
You
question
guys
for
hear me?
us?
Less people on here today, huh? Everybody's out, celebrating, I guess, for the new year.
Not a lot of parties going on.
Yeah.
Russ, that second half for you guys against the Rams, obviously it's a great defense and they made it tough on you for the first half, but to get those two touchdown drives, especially that last one, bunch of third down conversions, just what can that do for you going forward?
Well, I think we were clutch. I think when the game mattered most in the second half, we really found a way. And that was a great defense, obviously, and they got great players on that side of the ball. The game kind of started slow, both sides really, for both teams or whatever. But I think the reality is that we were able to make plays, come out really strong in the second half. We were able to move the ball extremely well. We were able to convert on our third downs. We were able to get our conversions in the passing game and the running game, and just do really some special things there. Chris came up big. Also when you think about DK, come up with some big catches. Tyler came up with some big catches, and then obviously at the very end there, Hollister making the game winner was really special. And I thought the offensive line did a tremendous job, throughout the game. Especially in the second half where we really needed it, and to slow those guys down up front. They did a great job.
Masvita?
Russ, I wonder if you could just expand on the offensive line. They've been the continuity and their patience in executing plays.
Yeah, I think that we came in the season, really excited about offensive line. I think that as the season really began, we had a really, really strong group of guys that were just those five consistent guys, even throughout training camp. Which, to be honest with you, I hadn't really had that type of consistency with that kind of maturity up front. In terms of, when I say maturity, experience, I should say, besides D-Lou, really, D-Lou was the only guy who was a rookie, but everybody else, had been in there a bunch. Dwayne and Mike had played together. Posick had played a lot of ball. He hadn't started necessarily all the time at center. Me and him had played a bunch together. He's been here for a long time. D-Lou was a new guy, obviously, but with Shell coming in, he played a lot of NFL football before, and Ced was a backup that played a lot of great ball. And so for us, those first 5-6 games, we had all those guys, and then we got kind of dinged up along the way in our backs and stuff like that. But I think, going into the playoffs and going into this last game of the season, really excited about who we have, the guys who have stepped up. I think Simmons has stepped up and stepped in a big way. He played a good game, and D-Lou's been tremendous. I think he's been one of the best rookies in football. So it's been exciting. And Ced stepped up at playing right tackle. He's been great for us. He's confident. And who knows what's going to happen with Shell or whatever. But I think that it's been really key to our success, I think, in terms of the pass protection when we need to throw it, the running game, and all the things, all the versatility that we could have, because those guys are really smart and really talented, and gives us a chance. We have a great offensive line, and I think those guys have been battling all year, and we have the toughest division of football for sure. So we're always battling, and it's been great.
Art.
Russ, do you guys over the course of the season sort of keep plays in reserve for late season action? In other words, keeping stuff off film for the big encounters, either at the end of the regular season or into the playoffs, and especially with a weapon like DK Metcalf, I would think that having something fresh would be fun.
No, we don't keep our plays hidden in our back pocket or anything like that. You create as you go, but you also have stuff that you've practiced all year round in terms of stuff that we just know how to do really well, and we just run our plays that we know really well and try to execute those plays and get to it in different ways. And but no, we don't we don't have a secret stash necessarily. We just we execute what we have.
Joe?
Russ, what was the key to figuring things out on third down in the second half? I feel like that was a big reason why you guys were able to find some success on those two touchdown drives.
I think the biggest thing was we really slowed those guys down up front. I mean, the first couple third downs, really they kind of got up to us kind of close, and we were able to execute, and I think at the end of the day, third down is all about just finding a way. It's kind of one of those things. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. You got to play the next third down. You can't worry about the ones before. I think for us, when the game was on the line, kind of said it in my post-game thing, but just for me and my mentality the whole second half is we got to win this game, and got to win the NFC West, and kind of that Mamba mentality, we got to bring it out, and so we got to find a way. And so I just think that we were really focusing on converting and making those plays and scoring touchdowns and winning the game.
Corbin?
Hey, Russ, this isn't necessarily a new topic. It's been brought up before, but your third down throw to David Moore, you were outside of the pocket, you were scrambling, and then later in the drive, you were running around, and then you found Carlos Hyde, dumped it off to him, and it just seemed like the passing game and the offense in general really took off from there. You talk a lot about tempo being a positive thing. Just scrambling for positive yardage or just being able to get out and run a little bit, get the blood pumping, does that help you get into a rhythm and get more comfortable in the passing game?
Yeah, I definitely think it. I mean, I'm not sure if it helps us get in more rhythm, but I think it definitely helps us get in a rhythm, and I think it helps us get just cause some controversy for the defense. They got to figure out what to do, and it's really hard in those plays because there's no script to it. It's once 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is not there or something like that, and I move or I have to go. It's like we're all young and playing in the backyard and getting open, and so it's always challenging on the defense. And I think that you trust your guys. I trusted David Moore completely in that play. He's been great for us all year, and he came up with a great catch. And you trust him all the way in those kind of moments, and just give him a chance to catch it, and just try to high back shoulder him so he could catch it and tuck it in.
Michael Sean.
Hey, Russ, now that you've lived in Wisconsin, Cali, and even Washington over your adult life, do you think there was something specific about growing up in Virginia that shaped you? Was it specific to living there?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've been fortunate to live in some cool places. Growing up, I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio. I was born at Christ Hospital. I lived there till I was 1 or 2, and we used to visit all the time. We used to have family friends, and I used to go back to Cincinnati and go to get Skyline Chili and White Castles. And I remember, being in Virginia my whole life for the most part, from basically 2 to 18, growing up and just in Virginia, which was an amazing experience. The cool thing about Virginia was you get all 4 seasons, weather. So you really are, from a sports perspective, you're playing, everything. You're playing, obviously, in the fall you're playing football. Demo and Swain over here, but in the fall you're playing your football. Then you transition into basketball late into the fall, winter time, and then next thing you know, you go into baseball in the spring, and summertime you're playing baseball and getting ready for football. So I think that was a cool experience. But I think the things that I learned, for me, some of the best lessons I learned were when I was playing sports and just in school. I think a lot of it was, the biggest thing I probably learned is you got to work for everything. And we didn't have much, and I think it was one of those things that, and I can truly say that everything I've tried to work for, I've earned, and just try to work for it and just, try to be the best of whatever I could do, and try to be the best version of myself. And I think that I've had some amazing people around me along the way, along the journey. And, I remember the early morning lifts and stuff like that with my teammates like Mikey Thompson and Scott Pickett and Cole Hawthorne and Witt and those guys, and just early mornings and, throwing in the snow with guys like Zach Mendez and just, great friends of people that I got to, play with and be around, and, the hot summer days. And, so the reality is that you really kind of, I learned a lot just about work ethic. My parents really taught me that. I had to run forth back to school a lot of times, and, just that was the biggest thing I learned. And then going to NC State, was a challenging experience in the sense that my dad was on his deathbed for the whole time I was there. And I learned about how to become a man, really, to be honest with you, about life. And that really helped mature me. And playing 2 sports, taking 18 credits every semester in the fall, spring, and summertime, both semesters in the summer, I was busy, and I was in a way I was running a business back then. I had business cards back then. I didn't have a business, and true story. And I was handing out business cards. So I think for me, I've always kind of been that way. And going to Wisconsin was an amazing experience where I really learned how to become a true professional, because I had to step into a room where. In a locker room where there was great players, guys who play in the NFL now, guys who are amazing guys like James White and the Nick Toons of the worlds and Abadarises, and then you think about some of the offensive linemen that still play in the league, and the Zeitlers and the Travis Fredericks and the Conses, just so many great players, Ricky Wagner. So I was fortunate to be blessed around some great players there, and Paul Chris was an amazing person as well. And so I learned how to become a pro, but I really learned how to become a professional. There's a difference, in my opinion. I think that a professional is, in the sports world, to me, is somebody who every little detail that they do, from rehab to prehab to how they study to how they go approach the business, to how, this is a business. The reality is that as much as entertainment is for everyone who watches, the reality is it's a business, and you have to understand that. And so for me, I go back to all the times I was at spring training playing pro baseball, and that was an experience too. So I think that I learned a lot along all the journeys that I've been in, and all the places that I've been. And I've tried to learn something from everybody that I get to encounter. And that's been one of the greatest blessings, is going across the country, East Coast all the way to the West Coast, and back and forth. Yep.
Bob?
What did I can't help it out. What did the business card say? Did you have a name already, or?
Russell Wilson Enterprises. Russell Wilson Enterprises. Had my email and everything. And I would give them out. You meet certain people along the way. Being in North Carolina in the Triangle and stuff like that. But just because you don't want to give your number out. One of those things. But you also want to give your email, and so you can stay connected. And I think a lot of kids. I tell people that all the time. It's important to, I always say, dress for the job you want, not the job you got. And I think that a lot of times what that is more of a mentality, because you really have to set yourself up. I talk to my sister all the time. She goes to Stanford, obviously, and she's already graduated, but she's in her 5th year. They're number one in the country in basketball. But those things are amazing experiences, but also use them to the best of your ability, And my dad used to always joke, son, you're on full scholarship, get every penny out of it, And so, it's really true though. You got to use those experiences and those opportunities and that networking. And I learned a lot from NC State. I learned a lot from Wisconsin. I learned a lot just from high school and just experiences. And I kind of had to. It was one of those things that you don't, when you don't have much, you got to be able to create opportunity for yourself, I think. And that was not just the sports world, but also just life and business. And I've been fortunate that I still have those connections today. So it's been cool.
Yeah, I was going to ask you real fast about DK. He's going to hopefully break Steve Largent's record this weekend. He was saying he's put his sights on Calvin Johnson. I don't know how serious he is about how quickly he would do that or whatever. Calvin Johnson's single season record. But do you ever talk to him about his goals and things like that at all? Or?
Of course. I think DK and I talk about it all the time. He wants to be great. I think anytime you want to be great, you have to have somebody to share those things with sometimes and to visualize those things. And the great thing is we're truly connected in every way, in the sense that I get to throw it to him and he gets to catch it, and I got goals and he's got goals, and we share those together a lot of the times. But I think that for us, we want to be, the best quarterback receiver, tandem ever. I think that me and Tyler have been really special too as well. And so to have two guys like that have been really special along the way. Both of those guys have opportunity to break some cool records and some things. And it's not about records, it's about winning. But a lot of times when you have great records, you get to win, and that's just part of it, The more everybody's shooting well, the more chances we win. So it's a good thing to have great guys who are really great teammates too.
Brady?
Excuse me. Hi, Russ. How much does playing at home feel like an advantage this year compared to a normal year when you have fans?
I think that anytime you get to play at home, especially in the playoffs, it definitely is an advantage. I like playing on the road personally. I'd rather play at home, but I like playing on the road just because I like going in tough environments. I like the obstacle of it. But I think that playing at home is so important. And I think that for us, more importantly this year, it's different than just the crowd noise. Obviously, we don't have that this year. But what is significant is the whole protocols and everything that you have to do, and that whole process. And when you have to do it on an away trip, it's a lot different, right? You're tucked away in your hotel room. You can't move at all. You're nothing. When you're at home, at least you get to go, into your own kitchen and this and that, And so that's a little bit different. And that definitely I think helps. And those little small little details like that, you get to go, use the hot tub, cold tub, all that kind of stuff. Versus when you're on the road, you don't have those kind of experiences and opportunities anymore.
Do you still have any of those business cards somewhere?
No, I don't have. I don't think I have them anymore. I use them all probably.
So they're out there somewhere. Somebody's got them.
Yeah, somebody's got them somewhere probably.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And last one, John Boyle. You have one more?
Yeah, Russ, just seen some videos on social media. You getting any ski reports from the family? Who's the best skier out there?
Oh man, I've never gone skiing, and I don't think I have the opportunity to go skiing anytime soon. I saw some of the slopes Sierra was going down, and Vanessa and the kids and stuff like that. She's talented. So she's a dancer. She's super balanced and all that. She's an athlete, so she's pretty smooth with it. She loves it. So one of these days when I'm done playing, I'll hop on the slopes.
retirement activity for you, right?
Yes, exactly. I'm not. That's a dangerous one. I can't do that one.
All right. Thank you, Russell.
Thank you, guys. Go Hawks.
Thanks, everyone. Happy New Year.